Haunted Hangover presents Haunted Hall.
Welcome to Haunted Hangovers, Haunted Hall, the show where Manny and I celebrate our favorite horror movies, watching them the way they were meant to be seen outside of a movie theater, that is, because the movie theater is the way you're supposed to watch a movie, on physical media. Physical media forever. Right, Manny?
That's right. That's right. Physical media forever.
Physical media forever.
God bless the local video store.
If you still have one.
If you still have one.
Which is few and far between. But yes, I'm Louie. That's Manny. Finally back with another Haunted Hall. Last time we did this was The Beyond, our 2-hour extravaganza. That was earlier in the year.
That was a while ago.
That was, a few months ago. That was a movie we really wanted to do for a long time. And we're here with another movie we've wanted to do for a while now. We've been talking about covering this since last year as well, in depth. And that's
40 years in the making.
40
years in the making.
In the making. And that film is The Stuff, because enough is never enough. For the stuff.
Warning. We interrupt this presentation with the following urgent message regarding The Stuff. If you see it in stores, call the police. If you have it in your home, don't touch it. Get out. The Stuff is a product of nature, a deadly living organism. It is addictive and destructive. It can overcome your mind and take over your body. And nothing can stop it.
Before we dive into the version we watched,
I watched both versions. What are you talking about?
Well, yes, there's two versions, but the actual physical release that we watched before that. Yes.
Okay.
Let me clarify.
Got it.
There was a VHS / Betamax released in 1985. Don't own that. I don't think you do either.
I don't think I have the VHS. I don't think so.
Or the Betamax.
No, I definitely don't have the Betamax.
Yeah,
that was a format that my father skipped. When I was a kid, we had the CEDs, then we went to VHS. We didn't have Laserdisc. No, didn't have Laserdisc.
Same.
No. We had CEDs, and then we had VHS. He didn't do the video disc because he was Laserdisc, because he was one of those people, there's always the format, like which one are you going to pick? He picked CED, and then he picked VHS instead of Betamax.
The right choice was made there. So I don't think anyone, in 1985, I was not born yet. I think by the time I was kicking, VHS had won that war. In the late 80s, early 90s. Yeah.
There was also Video 2000.
Which I don't remember.
It looked like it's a videotape, only you flipped it. So it was double.
It had two rolls? Like you flip it over?
It was the same roll, but you flipped it like a cassette tape.
Like a cassette
an audio
tape, I was
cassette.
about to say,
Yep.
Interesting.
It was VHS tape, but you could flip it. That was I don't think they actually released movies. I think that was only like a recording format. I don't know.
Recipe for disaster on that. Yeah. That was, you chew up that tape, it's a wrap. You're never getting it back at all with that format.
Pretty cool though. Just like a cassette tape though. It flipped.
So, But after that VHS and Betamax release, initially of The Stuff, this is how I finally watched it later in life. Anchor Bay, who we've talked about, they were the masters of re-releasing old horror movies in the early 2000s. They released The Stuff in the year 2000. And that was, that's how I saw The Stuff for the first time. I didn't watch it on VHS when it had come out. I watched it later in life.
I grew up renting this. I grew up renting this a lot, and it was on TV because it was a fairly well-known movie. It was a pretty well-known movie.
It was. So. I just, for some reason, it was something I remember seeing the covers for it as a kid, but never renting it until I was a teenager or like a preteen. I think I was 12 or 13 when I saw The Stuff for the first time, and it was on DVD. And that was early DVD releases too, 2000. That was like when DVD, we've talked about it, when DVD was kind of taken off.
The black cover with the melting face, right?
Yeah, it was the face with the white stuff coming out of the mouth, with the stuff coming out of the mouth and the eyes and the ears and all that. Yeah. But that was the version, again, that was the version I saw. That was the version I think for a long time there was the only way you could watch this movie on physical release for a long time. Then in 2011, which I never even saw this DVD of the stuff, Image Entertainments, I had to look this up because I had no idea this was a thing. They had like a Midnight Madness series of VA, like physical releases, and they reissued it in 2011 on DVD. So that was only a DVD release. So up until this point, the only way you could watch the stuff, literally in the last decade, was on DVD between the Anchor Bay release, the VHS, obviously, and that Image Entertainment's Midnight Madness reissue in 2011. All DVD. Then, finally, and we're still not up to the version we watched. Yeah.
I'm looking up trying to see which one was which.
You're trying to look up the Midnight Madness?
I'm trying to see which one I had, yeah.
Do you see it? Are you looking at the image of it?
I'm so far I'm only seeing the black covers. Oh, is it the one with the writing down the side? The black one that says warning on the top?
I think so, yes.
Is that it? Because I had that on DVD, so I'm trying to...
Yeah, it's like I guess it's like a sub. Like, you know how some of these distribution companies at one point would have like remember Dimension had like the Extreme... There was like Dimension Extreme. It was like one of those, I guess, boutique sub labels within a label.
No, this was okay. So I'm the image I'm looking at now. It is the melting face one, and the stuff and kind of like this bluish purple, right? And then Michael Moriarty, it's got the actors on the top. Are you eating it or is it eating you? That I had that DVD, which I think
is the Anchor Bay one, which is the version I think I originally owned before I got the latest release.
The stuff B-movie DVD collection.
Yes.
That one with all the mess around the edges. Okay.
Yes.
I did not have that one.
It's a cool release when you look at it.
That looks cool.
Yeah. I mean, I had the Anchor Bay one, so I never got that release either in 2011 because I didn't even know about it until I did a little research here to see what releases led up to the one we watched.
Anchor Bay is totally the one that I had.
Yeah, that's the one I had too. Yep. And then in 2016, Arrow Video released a Blu-ray of the film for the first time. So Arrow Video is the one that released it in a higher def in 2016, which is kind of crazy. That was only 10 years ago, a decade ago, but nonetheless, it was fairly recent, even though 10 years ago isn't that recent. And then that leads us to the version we watched. And the reason why we wanted to do this episode, Arrow Video, once again, 2025, July of last year, they released the UHD 4K Blu-ray release right here. So Manny and I were holding off until we both had this to cover the stuff finally, because I'll be honest, I never got that 2016 release. I never bought it. I had the
Blu. No, I had the Blu-ray. I bought the Arrow Blu-ray a while ago, and when I saw that there was a new stuff, I was like, okay. I just bought the Blu-ray maybe a year or two earlier. So I was like, do I really need to upgrade this right now? And then I saw the special features and I said, okay, no, I absolutely have to have this, and side note that we've been doing all these shows lately. We've been doing craft fairs and the stuff at Necromantic Brew and everything. So I said, I could just sell my old Blu-ray.
I mean, which comes in handy when you want to upgrade, honestly.
Yes, it does. It's changing when I'm buying things like, do I really need the other? I could still sell the old one. Now I have it because eBay is just a pain in the ass. Selling online is a pain in the ass. And, but if I'm doing shows, we're already there. I'm going to have a table. I can sell it. So I immediately bought that stuff.
And a movie like The Stuff, if you see, like if someone's at an event and you have a table and you're selling it, you're more likely to sell a movie like that. There's people that have heard of it.
Sold quick, real fast.
Because there's a lot of people that have seen the stuff, but that know the stuff but haven't seen the stuff.
Or they just don't have the Blu-ray.
Yes.
Like you never bought the Blu-ray. You had the DVD for 20 years, but the same thing. Yeah. People are like, oh my God, it's on Blu-ray. I didn't even know.
Dude, the copy I had, the Anchor Bay DVD I had, you know where I bought it? At Kim's.
Wow.
Like we had already known each other at that point. I bought it because I rented it as a kid, right? Saw it, never owned it, bought it as I guess I was a teenager. I'm 17, 18. And I bought it. You remember Kim's Video, famous New York, physical media store. They sold records and movies and things like that. They no longer exist, unfortunately. They used to have a huge used section. And that's where I bought a lot of my stuff. And that's where I got my copy of the Anchor Bay copy of the stuff.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's where I don't remember where I bought but I wouldn't be surprised if I bought it there too.
But yeah, back to the release we watched of The Stuff, 2025 Arrow Video UHD 4K Blu-ray release. I was holding out for this one. That's why I didn't buy that other Bluray from 10 years ago.
Sometimes. Just like I was holding out. I had the Beyond DVD for 25 years. I was holding out. I was holding out for this. Yep.
That was another one. Go listen to our Beyond episode if you haven't checked that one out. That was a fun one. So yeah, this is a 2-disc set. Features the main 4K UHD disc. Restored 4K restoration of the film. Looks great. Probably the best the film's looked. In all honesty,
it looks gorgeous.
It looks, like flawless, dare I say, which is kind of crazy to say just out loud for a film of this caliber. It's The Stuff.
And books.
Yeah, there's books. New artwork from Chris Barnes. Not familiar with the artist, if I'm being honest.
Chris Barnes? Cannibal Corpse Chris Barnes? What?
I believe that's his name, Chris Barnes. Yeah, you're right. Hammer Smash Face. Chris Barnes did it. I hope that's his name. That's what I wrote in my notes. Chris Barnes. That's what it says. Chris Barnes.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
It's not the same Chris Barnes. Now, I highly doubt the Chris Barnes from 6 Feet Under is a talented artist like this.
That's right. He's not Cannibal Corpse anymore.
He's 6 Feet Under, man. He gets straight. Yes,
dude, that first 6 Feet Under album is phenomenal.
Oh, it is. It's great.
That first one was
it all goes
hallmark
downhill
of death
after that. After that, very deep hill it goes down. But yes, new artwork from Chris Barnes, not that Chris Barnes. A collector's booklet featuring stills. Yep, there it is. And some pieces written by Joel Harley and Daniel Burnett. Once again, two gentlemen I'm not familiar with. So
cool stuff.
Shout out to them, even though I have no idea what they've done. I did skim through it. It's cool. It's an essay written by these two guys that I'm guessing are big fans of the film. We've got an archive. Yep, there it is.
There you go.
There's a lot of like posters and things like that.
You talk, I'll do this.
Yeah. There's an archive commentary with Larry Cohen, which was featured in the 2016 Blu-ray release. So they just ported that over to this new release. We get a new commentary.
Wait a minute. Did yours have 2 books in it?
Oh, wait, hold on.
Probably not. No.
Manny got the extra book.
No, I did not. I think I took this from the Blu-ray that I sold.
Oh, there you go. So shout out to the guy that bought that Bluray from Manny.
Because it's like,
and
it's the
no
same
booklet.
book. It's the same book mostly. I'm looking through it like, wait, that's the same thing.
Yeah. So I got guy. Sorry to the guy who didn't get the booklet.
The guy who got the Blu-ray off me for $10. I mean,
Manny had every right to keep the booklet. Sorry. For our show, he had to display them here. Right here, Manny. This is where the money went. Show them again, side by side. Here you go. There you go.
Which one? So which one came with this now?
The one with the art of the slipcase. The
this
one to my right.
So this is the 4K. This was the one that was in the Arrow Blu-ray.
Yeah, I didn't have the original Blu-ray, so I didn't know that's what it looked like. That's why when I was looking at it, I thought you like flipped it to another page.
Nope.
So
and it's pretty much the same thing.
Damn.
I'm looking at it like I'm like, oh, that's the same pictures. This is
to the man who bought the 2016 Stuff Blu-ray for Manny at whatever event off the Massgrave Pictures table. Sorry that he forgot to give you the booklet.
Exactly the same. Yeah, it's not exactly the same. There's some differences, but it looks like a lot of the same pictures are there.
I do love how you kept the booklet. I'm sorry if I'm dwelling on that. I just love how you kept, like you gave him you're just getting the disc and the cover and that's it.
I didn't do it on purpose. I was probably looking at the two of them, like comparing them at some point. Like I wanted to see what the difference between them was. And then I just threw them all in one. I just threw them all in one, and then some other time when we were going to go to the show, I was like, damn, I upgraded the stuff. I can sell the old one. You know,
That guy is crying in his room that he didn't have the book.
I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that.
He's not able to read Joe Harley and Daniel Burnett's essays on the stuff, man. You kept him from that. Oh, man. Shout out to the dude who bought Manny's Blu-ray once again. All right. So, new commentary, that's where I left off. There's a new commentary track from two film critics, two British film critics, David Flint and Adrian Smith. I am not familiar with either of these gentlemen.
Nope.
I don't know if I'm guessing they're like film scholars that have written some books. That's what I'm gather. Assuming. That's what I'm guessing. Yes, from listening to them.
Two British film gentlemen.
Yes, I did listen to. Funny enough, before we recorded, I had this version of the film today. I'll say this: it's an acquired taste of a listen. It
was like they were just kind of talking. They had some nuggets.
Yeah.
They had some nuggets, but it was basically like, it's almost like you guys just recorded a podcast and called it a commentary, didn't you?
It did feel like this, basically.
Yes.
It did feel like a podcast more than which, if you think about it, if you're not the director of the film, if you're just a critic or a fan of the film, or like, you're a social media person or a podcaster or a writer or blogger, that's kind of what a commentary is. It's a podcast you're listening to while watching the film. It's a fan podcast. Because in like, for example, there is an archived commentary. I mentioned it with Larry Cohen here.
Because he's dead.
That's the commentary.
Larry Cohen's dead, so I get it. Like, you're going to have something new. You need some other person to do the talking. If everybody who made the movie, for the most part, is dead, who's going to do the commentary? You got to get somebody, But
and his commentary is great. You learn a lot of insight about the film.
And it was just him. It was just him.
And he's going to glaze the film because it's his movie.
Yes,
so when
course.
you watch it, you don't hear any, he's, and I'll say this, and I'm sure it'll come up later, but like Larry Cohen, and we've had this discussion with other directors, is a notoriously difficult director to work with. He got into it with a lot of his actors and stuff over the years, but made a hell of a lot of movies. But
he had a lot of actors that liked working with him.
And one of them's in this movie.
Used the same over and over again,
Yeah, so he's notorious, for just sort of being like pushing the buttons of some of his cast and crew. It also features a documentary, an hour-long documentary that was ported over from the 2016 release called Can't Get Enough of the Stuff. I watched it. It's good. Interviews with Larry Cohen. If you listen to the commentary, it's the same information.
Same thing.
It's a lot of talking heads. You know how these documentaries go on these Blu-rays.
Since I had the Blu-ray, I probably watched it when I got the Blu-ray. So, and I just don't remember. I probably threw it on one day, so I might have watched it. I don't remember watching it though. I didn't watch it recently for sure. It's
informative, but if you've read anything about the stuff, listen to the commentary. If you watch the King Cohen documentary, which I have, that's actually that plays into the next special feature. I believe it's called King Cohen. You know what he's gonna say about this movie, like all the behind the scenes tidbits, all the information he gave. He just kind of is repeating himself, but it was cool to see like other people, like the writer and other people and the producer, I believe, that were involved with the movie, kind of just talking about their experience working on the stuff. So then, speaking of that documentary, King Cohen, there is a re-edited featurette. This one's about 19 minutes, around that time. I forget. I think it's 16 minutes, actually, called Enough is Never Enough. And that's cut interviews with Larry Cohen and some others from that documentary. Because the King Cohen documentary is all about his entire career. So you get like It's Alive stuff. You get stuff about, Q the Winged Serpent.
Yep.
God Told Me, like all his, his filmography and how his career started and the grindhouse era. That's all. This featurette is basically re-edited
bits of that,
put into a separate feature,
condensing a little bit. Okay,
I will say
the
that
relevant parts.
Yes, I will say this is a great. That documentary is great. I'm shocked they didn't add that to this. There must be a rights reason.
Who released the?
I think Arrow did, because there's a trailer for it on in this Blu-ray, on the Blu-ray of this.
Yeah, unless they have a separate release, and that's why they didn't add it.
I think they do. Why. Which is weird because the next special feature is
Well-
a documentary called 42nd Street Memories, an entire like feature-length documentary.
I see that I saw years ago when
so
that
did
came
I.
out.
So
Yeah.
did I. I
It's-
did put it on though. It is a good documentary. I didn't finish it. I watched half
it's
of it, but
probably a mix of the fact that they have another release and rights issues.
Mm-hmm.
Like putting it onto this, if they're only licensing that documentary, to release it, then whoever actually owns it would get a bigger cut of this sale being part of it.
yeah, that makes sense.
I mean,
So it's an
the
older
42nd
documentary at this point too. I think.
Yeah, but they
So,
still may not own it. They may just
Yeah.
be licensing. Like 42nd Street, if it's on here, more than likely they own that. It's theirs at this point.
yeah, because it's a full
Yeah.
documentary.
Yes, yeah, I know. I saw that. And I'm like, damn, I remember watching
It's
that.
like 90 minutes. It's a
Yeah,
movie.
I
Yeah,
watched that. I don't know
basically.
how many years ago when that came out. I remember that. That was really cool.
And there's
Seeing
interviews
fucking
with
42nd
him.
Street in the 70s
Yeah.
and all the grindhouse theaters. Yeah, that was cool
Yeah.
stuff.
Like Manny just said, that's basically what it's about. It's about the grindhouse era of 42nd Street here
Yeah.
in New York, the 70s and
Wow.
80s era with, I think they interview Larry Cohen and what's his name? Directed Maniac.
Henenlotter and
Yes. What's his name? He owns Blue
Maniac.
Underground.
yes.
His brain just slipped. His brain fart.
Yeah.
It'll come to us later. It'll come to
I'll
us.
just
much
shout
later.
it out in
Yeah.
about 45 minutes.
Manny will shout it out later. But they interview everyone about making films in the 70s and 80s and then screening them on 42nd Street and all the grindhouse, the porn theaters.
Yeah.
I mean, if you listen to this show, there's a 99% chance 99% chance you know what we're talking about. But the main event and the reason why this release from Arrow Video is very important, and probably the most important thing and the most important feature is, for the first time, and I even have it as my notes, the main event, we get a pre-release version of the film that has 30 minutes of additional footage and an original alternate score from Dwight Dixon. I didn't even know this was a thing
Yep.
until I saw this release, until you
That's
told
why
me.
when I
So-
saw it, I was like, oh, I need to
Yeah.
know. I need another half hour of the stuff.
Yeah, that for
I
sure.
need this. But I think we're going to get to that part later. We'll talk about the movie itself, the theatrical cut first. We'll discuss that, and then we'll get into the extra. We're going to try and not let it overlap.
I mean,
You know?
you want to hear something funny before I get into my synopsis here of the film? When I was taking my notes for this episode, I was like, fuck, I hope I don't confuse the two versions because they're close.
They are.
The stuff that stood out to me, I did jot down.
There's only one real part
That's-
did not exist
yes.
otherwise.
Yes.
The rest is
Extended versions of things
Yes.
that exist. So that's where I was like, damn, I hope I don't
yeah.
get them confused. And I did watch them. Like I've watched the stuff 3 times this month. So it's been multiple times.
Yeah.
So, it becomes a little fuzzy because you're watching different versions with commentaries, without commentaries. And that's kind of the fun of doing these episodes, is watching the movie so many times and
Yeah.
getting a different perspective on it, etc. But yes, let's get into my synopsis for The Stuff.
When I was a little girl, I didn't think there was anything that I liked better than ice cream. Now I'm a big girl, and I've decided there's something I like better. Much better. It's called the stuff. And believe me, enough is never enough.
So obviously written and directed by the infamous Larry Cohen, released on June 14th, 1985. It follows ex-FBI industrial saboteur Mo
Ex-FBI,
Rutherford.
current industrial
yes. Thank you, Manny. Ex-FBI and current industrial saboteur. That is literally how he's introduced in the movie.
That's
so
it.
I just
That's
want to point
That's
that
it.
out there.
Corporate espionage.
Corporate. And when you see Mo, his name's Mo Rutherford,
You know why they call him Mo, right?
because he always wants some Mo.
Every time you pay him, he just wants Mo.
It depends on, he wants more of something.
Of
It depends on
anything. Doesn't matter what it. He wants Mo. He wants Mo
Mo.
of anything.
Of
Anything but the stuff. Anything but the stuff.
He wants less of that for some
Less-
reason. Well,
less of the
there's a
stuff.
reason why he doesn't want that. But yeah, Mo is hired by a group of rich businessmen connected to the failing ice cream industry. So ice cream sales are doing bad.
Big ice cream gets together.
Robbins, Carvel.
Big ice cream gets together and with Ben and Jerry, and that's what it is. It's a room of Ben, Jerry, Haagen-Dazs. They're all sitting
on a yacht in the ocean.
They're all sitting in a yacht next to Carvel and Baskin and Robbins. They're all there.
Before I continue, I do like that that's an entire setup. That there's like these like stuffy business guys all in suits.
Bunch of rich white guys on a yacht, pissed off
about ice cream. That's literally what their ice cream sales are doing. Terrible.
They're getting beaten every market.
Every market.
Almost every market.
So this ice cream Illuminati.
Amalgamation.
Amalgamation of men.
Well, it's Amalgamated Diaries. That's actually what they're called. Amalgamated Diaries.
They're hiring Mo.
Diaries. I'm reading it, and I'm like, I'm reading diaries. Nope. Dairies. Amalgamated Dairies.
Those men are hiring Mo to uncover the secret behind the wildly successful dessert known as the stuff. Their plan, at least to what I can understand of what they want to do, is they want to steal and know the recipe to knock off the product and put the stuff out of business.
Yep.
That's what they want to do. They're hiring Mo just to find out the recipe and where it comes from.
Welcome to corporate America.
Exactly. And that's a running theme of this film, and I'm sure we'll get into that a little later. Yeah, that's his. And you know what, Mo, and I don't want to get into him too much, but his introduction and in this whole situation, he's belittling these men. Like as soon as he walks in, there's a wiretap on one of them. He doesn't even know. He's saying they all have sweaty palms as he shakes their hands. It's a great scene. It's a great way to kind of introduce Mo as a character. Now there's a problem to this whole situation. There's a whole there's an issue. There's an issue with the stuff that Mo has to figure out. The stuff isn't a dessert at all. It's a living organism from the center of the earth. Well,
as discovered by young Scott Bloom.
Yes.
Those brothers that all look uncannily exactly the same. The creepiest fucking eyes.
Yes. They look like aliens themselves.
Scott Bloom is what shows up at your house when you order Steven Dorff on Temu. You get Scott Bloom. You want. That's it.
Yes.
When I was a kid, I used to watch The Stuff and The Gate, and it's like, what is these fucking kids?
Where do they manufacture these children in a factory and then make them child actors?
And then what's their other ones? The other ones, the guy, oh my God, the Lawrence brothers too. What? They're just clones.
That's what they're doing. They're just Hollywood is cloning children in a factory.
They're cloning children. They're all coming out of Corey Haim. That's what really happened to Corey Haim.
Oh no. Oh, speaking of the Illuminati. So yes, the stuff isn't a dessert. It's a living organism from the center of the earth that hijacks people's brains, turning them into zombie addicts that are like basically consuming the stuff as a drug. Like you can't live without constantly eating this shit and worshiping it.
And then come the brain people?
Yes. And then eventually when it takes you over and has no use for you, it just erupts from your body and leaves behind your empty husk of like your skin. It devours you basically. It's like a shell of a human corpse on the floor when it wants nothing to do with you.
But not everyone.
Yes, which is
not every time.
Not every time.
Sometimes it just goes right back in.
I think it's how much of the stuff you consume. They do brush over it because I think there's moments where they're like, oh, if you eat in exposition in the film, depending on how much of the stuff you eat, because I think you can have a little bit of it as long as you don't get addicted.
Yeah.
You'll be okay, because we see our protagonist eat it at one point.
Well, no, what I'm saying is there's the one scene, there's a scene of the shopkeeper. And then remember when the two of them are there, it comes out of him.
It leaves him and goes back.
It leaves, yes. And then it goes back into him, you know?
Yeah.
But other people, when it leaves them, like you said, there's nothing but the husk left.
It depends on what
Why does it? Who does
Yeah.
it choose to return to? Like, was that guy just all soft and warm inside? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it
he
just
was
wanted
just
to- it liked
he was
him a
just
lot.
hillbilly enough.
with his beer shirt that he had on at the gas station. At like
Maybe the stuff likes working the gas station. You know what?
Maybe.
I can do this. This other chocolate chip guy. I don't want to be in here for too
No,
long. This
no.
dog pees on too much.
Yes.
I don't want to be in the dog.
it picks and chooses. The stuff picks and chooses who it wants to be, who it wants to
And
live
Danny
inside of.
Aiello.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll
get into
We'll
these.
get into it. So, moving forward with the synopsis, to save humanity, Mo joins forces with Jason. We just talked about the actor, a kid
Yep.
whose family has
Comes
been
from the village of the
consumed.
damned, clearly.
Yeah, clearly. A kid whose family is consumed by the stuff. They basically control his entire family. An advertising executive, Nicole, who's also Mo's love interest. I've got some stuff to say about her a little later. My boy, Chocolate Chip Charlie, a cookie mogul.
My
who's-
favorite.
Yes.
Oh, man, I love him. He is my...
We'll get
I have
into
loved Chocolate Chip Charlie my whole life. I love him.
Chocolate Chip Charlie. He's a cookie mogul who's lost his entire business to his family because they've obviously been taken over by the stuff.
Yes,
And-
his family sold the company to the stuff organization out from under him, and he's determined to find out why.
Yes. And Colonel Spears is the last person in this group, a retired, liberal-hating military man who seems super excited about the possibility of another war. And I have a lot to say about him too. I just want to get through this. There's a lot to say about Colonel Spears. But yes, together this group, they set out to destroy the makers of the stuff before this addictive white goo takes over the planet and ends humanity. Now, obviously, the cast of this film is a highlight to Manny and I because we couldn't compose ourselves as we rattled off some of those characters. So let's get into that here. So Michael Moriarty as Mo Rutherford.
He is a treasure.
He is
Michael
a national
Moriarty is a treasure. He's still alive. Maybe one day I can have him in a movie.
He's still kicking. He's still around. Yes.
I found out something about him. Very
What'd you find
interesting.
out?
He is a very well seasoned and extremely talented jazz musician.
Wow, I did not know that.
Like, you remember in Q the Winged Serpent where he's playing the piano?
I know he plays the piano. I didn't
That is
realize.
him.
Oh.
That is him. That is his. He has 3 albums out.
Wow. Did
Yes,
not know
he's-
this.
He's got 3 albums. He is like good. Like, I don't mean like, oh, okay, no, he does some good
He's just
stuff.
a
Like, oh,
talented
you know,
dude,
Bruce
yeah.
Willis is in a band with this guy. No,
Yeah.
like he is an accomplished jazz pianist and singer.
Wow. I'm going to
Like,
have to check this out.
You go to YouTube, you can just look up Michael Moriarty, look up his albums. He is fucking good. The dude has a voice. He can sing. He's a composer. Like, wow.
Yeah, I
Yes,
didn't know this about him at all.
Really good.
Interesting.
You know?
I mean, he's great in this movie.
Yes,
So,
but total side thing.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
I'm going to have to check it out.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's a damn good musician.
I mean, he's notorious for being sort of like an eccentric actor in general. A lot of ad-libbing, loves to improvise on set. And Larry Cohen worked with him 5 times, I believe. Is
Yeah,
kind
4 or
of-
5, yeah.
Yeah, 4 or 5 times. I mean, he was even in his Masters of Horror episode.
Yep.
He's in that. So, like, they've worked together a lot.
Island of the Alive.
Island of the Alive. He was in the 3rd Alive
I think,
film.
and I think because of Michael Moriarty, that's the best one. He brings something to it. It's like Joseph Bologna in Alligator 2.
Yeah.
While the movie wouldn't have been great if it wasn't for him, that's what makes it better. I think that's what makes it better than the first one because he's just so much fun. Moriarty brings so much to the screen. Like his personality, he's just so big.
He kind of gives me, what kind of vibes he gives me, and this actor might pop up again a little later in something I want to share, but like Tom Atkins, a little younger, obviously, but way more eccentric. Because Tom Atkins was more of a straight man.
Yes.
He was more like, let me get my little bottle of whiskey and like bang the broad over here. Like he was that type of guy.
Yeah, he has ridiculous lines, but he kind of is him. He kind of is what he is. Yeah. You know?
Where even this like Mo, like the character of Mo is just this like quirky, eccentric ex-FBI guy. But
that Southern thing was all him. Yeah. He came up with that himself. He didn't even discuss it. When they started shooting, he just did it.
He's great.
You know?
He carries this whole movie on his back. I think, and you know what's funny? Like Q the Winged Serpent, which came out before this, I think. It was the movie that he made with him right before the stuff. I think a few years prior.
That was 82.
It's a similar role, just minus the like Southern drawl like aspect. His accent is different in Q the Winged Serpent, which I haven't watched that in a while, but I do like that movie. It's ridiculous, but it's great.
I think it has to do with the New York of it all.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like kind of he's playing, you know, we're kind of playing around the whole New York thing. Like Island of the Alive, that's not a New York movie. No, know, we're clearly, you know, it's, you know, Salem's Lot is not a New York thing. So that's where the character ends up being different. These two are both kind of based around a city kind of a setting.
Which always adds to just like the overall charm of all these Larry Cohen movies. A lot of his films take place in New York, so just being New Yorkers, we're always going to gravitate towards that aspect of it. But just like the performance, he carries this movie until I'd say about the last 20 to 30 minutes, where another actor I'm going to talk about in a few minutes, you can see them competing to chew up scenes. You can see it, dude. Like when you watch that, like the last 25 minutes,
it's a buffet.
I feel bad for every other actor in the film. Chewing, like they're competing.
They are
for who is chewing up the scenery. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. It's so crazy. But yeah, Michael Moriarty, we both love him, and we love him in this movie, and he is the reason this movie is as good as it is. Next up, we have Andrea Marcovici. Marcovici as Nicole. She's great in this movie. Kind of a damsel in distress, but they do make her like this business executive who owns her own, you know, advertising agency. So she's not a complete kind of like running and crying, you know.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's so much. A little bit.
She does save Mo at one point too. Yeah. When the stuff's
capable.
On his face.
She is capable.
Yeah, you know, we've mentioned like that kind of stereotypical damsel in distress previously in other movies.
Yeah, I wouldn't call her that though.
Not fully. No. I mean, she's definitely like a love interest through and through.
You know what? I think that she's very capable and she has her own. The additional scenes change her character.
Yes,
no, I think hurt.
Really?
Yes, I think it hurts her character. Wow. We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Okay.
I think that's what makes her the damsel in distress.
All right. I like that she saves him. There's like a moment, there's a whole scene where the stuff's really on his face and she has to burn it off with oil or whatever, with a lamp, and she saves him. And then he saves her later on. So like,
because he's the hero of the movie.
He's the hero of the movie. He's the main protagonist. Yeah. So I thought she was good. She's, you know, I love that she is responsible for selling the stuff basically, but doesn't eat it, which is a great kind of just character trait. She doesn't eat anything she works on. Yep. Anything she works, except like she advertises. Mo. Yeah, except for Mo. That's the only thing. We all want to eat Mo. I guess.
Eat a little bit of some syrup.
Some syrup. We got
or
Scott
jelly.
Blue.
Syrup or jelly.
Jelly or syrup. I prefer syrup. Oh, God. Manny mentioned Scott Bloom already as Jason. Obviously, the clone. We talked about him before.
Clone child.
Not an annoying child actor. He's pretty good in this. His whole sequence with him tricking his family by pretending to eat the stuff using shaving cream is really charming. I know.
It did kind of annoy me. It's always, even my whole life watching him, when he filled it up. Okay, fine, he fills it up with shaving cream, but he fills it to the top. and then comes and tells
Perfectly
them,
starts-
like, he's flattening it out, like, yeah, I tried it. No, you fucking didn't. Where? Show me where you tried this.
The stuff isn't very bright
Like-
when it
like-
possesses people, obviously.
You know, he could have thrown it out and then just done a little bit at the bottom.
You could have done like a 2 scoops, thrown that in the toilet, and then,
You know,
yeah.
like, oh, nope, I finished it up. It's delicious. I love it. No, here, let me fill this back up with shaving cream and then eat. No!
and then eat lots of shaving cream.
Then just keep eating
It's like
shaving
2
cream.
or 3
What's wrong?
spoonfuls to the point that he vomits in the back of Moe's car.
Can you open the window, please?
Yeah, yes. So great. Oh, but I like his character arc. I like
Yes.
that, you know, he
Yeah.
loses his family, and even by the end of the film, he
He reminds me of the little kid in the Invaders from Mars remake, where he's
Yeah.
very capable of
Independent,
and,
yeah.
and the gate, it's that. It's not like the Bob in like House by the Cemetery. It's not.
He's not
it's
irritating.
like,
Yeah.
it's not one of those screaming kids that just, why are you still dragging this kid along with you?
It's an
you know?
underrated like child actor performance in a horror movie. I think it's one people overlook. I don't hear a lot of people talk about it, especially like by the end of the film. Even they go out of their way to say he's not a kid anymore. This kid has lost his entire family. Like Moe
Yeah.
tells them, the executives, that they're like, you know, this kid has seen the worst in people, so he can be in the room while I threaten you guys with a gun. Like, whatever. He's seen worse. So I do like that. He's never irritating. He doesn't like, whenever his scenes pop up, I was never like, oh God, get this kid off the
No.
screen. I also, again, not to jump forward, I think the extended pre-release, there's some more kind of backstory with his character that I like and do wish was in the final product, in the final film, the final edit of the film. Because I think it does add to his, like the way he sees the world and how he sees his parents and how
does.
smart he is to kind of trick the stuff and his
Yeah,
family possessed by them, you know?
In this version, I always felt that it kind of goes from 0 to 60 with him real fast.
Well, that's
know,
the
like
whole
a-
movie, I feel. Like they're like
There is a lot. Well,
Mo and Nicole's relationship is like boom, she forgives him, they're making out,
Again-
like they're together. Yeah, it's
again,
yeah.
that's we'll get to that.
We'll
We'll
get
get to
to
that when we
that,
get
yeah.
to it. Yeah.
Next up we have Garrett Morris as Chocolate Chip Charlie. Talked about him too. He's great. He's got his lethal weapons for hands. They're registered.
Registered lethal weapons.
Registered lethal weapons.
Him and Steven Seagal both, right?
Yes. Both of them can kill you with one chop. Honestly, I didn't know that Larry Cohen, he wasn't the original choice. He wanted Arsenio Hall
Yep.
to play Chocolate
that
Chip
out too.
Charlie. I had no idea until listening to one of the commentaries. It wouldn't have been the same. Because at this point,
No,
Arsenio
absolutely.
Hall was a lot younger. This is before his show. This is like around the Coming to
Yeah.
America days.
It said that he wasn't anybody at the time.
yeah.
And Larry Cohen, I guess he knew what he was about to start because by the time the stuff came out, Arsenio Hall was a
Coming
big
to
name.
America and all that was
he became a big
popping
name
off.
by the time this was released. But when they were shooting, the studio was like, "No, we need a bigger name."
But Garrett Morris, like, there's something seasoned about him. I mean, he was on SNL. He was around for a long
SNL
time.
was
at the-
10 years before this. He
Yeah.
was already a well-established,
And he's great. You can just, he looks like a guy who's been through some shit. Like the character, like it's perfect for the character to the point that I say this every time I watch. And obviously, spoilers. I'll put The Witch here just in case because we've already kind of talked all about it. I'll do a double spoiler. Here, The Witch. Earlier, The Witch popped up. But when he dies, I get bummed. Because I liked his character.
He's my favorite character. I love him.
almost wish there was more Chocolate Chip Charlie in the movie.
he's
Always.
another one. Him and Moriarty, another one. Who's chewing the scene more?
Yes. Dude, that scene where he
100%.
punches them and they're fighting.
Oh, that fight?
Yeah.
Jesus.
And it's one of those situations, and I've talked about this in previous episodes of like the regular show of Haunted Hall, where this is a prime example of a character that's in, probably 10, 12 minutes of the movie altogether, his screen time.
And
But he's
defines
memorable.
it.
He's
Yeah.
memorable. You give a shit, even though you learn so much about him. They mention him before you even meet him. He's brought up during the meeting with all the ice cream moguls. And when you see him and you're like, I kind of want to watch the movie where the two of them team up. Like he's teamed up
I
with
want
him,
a Chocolate Chip Charlie movie.
but I wanted him to continue the journey with Mo.
Yes.
And they are working together, but like they go in different directions. And then, we get his infamous scene towards the end of the film.
Yes. You get more of him and Mo working together in the extended version too.
Which made me happy.
Which was, I was loved having
more
that.
Chocolate Chip Charlie is fantastic.
Yep.
So
there was one thing I told you before we started that there was one thing about these two, the commentary guys. If we want to talk about them briefly,
the British guys, not Larry Cohen's commentary.
Yes, the two British guys doing
authors or
the
whatever,
commentary.
critics, yeah.
Yeah, there was a moment where I realized you're not the right people for this conversation.
Uh-oh.
Because they're British.
Okay.
Not that there's anything wrong with being British.
Yeah.
That's not it at all. The film itself has a commentary on American culture that they are clearly unaware of.
I think I remember them even mentioning Arsenio Hall and being a little confused by who he is really. Like they didn't really know who. Yeah.
The guy mispronounced Arsenio. He's the guy's like
Arsenio Hall, yeah.
The other one goes Arsenio Hall. He's a
Yeah.
famous name. Like,
He's a comedian. He had his own famous show. Like
So one of them wasn't totally sure who Arsenio Hall was.
Okay.
The other, and then in a minute later they said yes, and here he is, introduced Chocolate Chip Charlie. I don't know if you, and they talk about how the name Chocolate Chip Charlie is a racist name.
Oh yeah, I remember this. Yes.
And I said, wait, what? Like I actually yelled at the screen listening to this.
Oh.
They're like, it's a racist name. Okay. In and of itself, I could see where you would come to that. Okay. But then they talk about how, well, apparently Larry Cohen was the name of the character was based on John Amos, but nobody knows who John Amos is. And I'm like, famous fucking Amos. This is a huge cookie company. You say that, there's a guy who makes chocolate chip cookies. They named him Chocolate Chip Charlie. Your first thought is Famous Amos cookies. Famous Amos Chocolate Chip Charlie.
I didn't think of anything racist when I heard the name. So
but that's how they took the name of you can't have a black character name him Chocolate Chip. That's racist. Like, no, he's not. And it bothered me, right? That was like, I'm like,
all
no,
these years of watching this movie, I never was like, his name is racist. Yeah.
Never once. Because in my head, he's supposed to be Famous Amos.
Yeah.
Because as far as I know, that's what happened to Famous Amos. He was pushed out of his own company. Mm-hmm. The John Amos was actually pushed out of
it's a famous story when you look into it.
So I am correct. Yes, I am correct.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah. He was pushed out of his own company by whomever bought Famous Amos. And I think, I don't know what company it is, but whoever bought Famous Amos, they pushed him out. And it's
Nabisco.
like, that's...
I don't know.
Yeah, it might be.
I'm just talking shit.
No, it totally might be because I think that like when you go to the store, there's like a pack, there's like those packs and it's like Famous Amos cookies, Chips Ahoy, and they're all in the same pack.
Well,
so I think
these
it might
companies gobble, like Pepsi and Coke have gobbled up different, fast food. Right? They all did that throughout, like over time.
Pepsi did it specifically.
Decades. Yeah.
Pepsi did it specifically to compete with Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
But that is what is the heart of a lot of this story.
I mean, even that right there, Pepsi did that like to get. That's what this consumerism. And we'll have that. We'll get to it more.
They couldn't compete with Coca-Cola, so they created. So they bought like Taco Bell and KFC, specifically because they couldn't compete with Coca-Cola, Pizza Hut. So they bought those companies so that they could put their own their own drinks in those restaurants. That's what this movie is about. That's the heart of this, is that corporatism. And it bothered me that they didn't know the Famous Amos story. And it's like, if you don't know who Famous Amos is, how can you comment on a movie that has an entire character based on him?
Yeah, I heard that, but kind of was like, I don't know what they're talking. I was like, I don't know what. I was like, I never took that name. It's like I never took the character as like a racist.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I never.
No.
When like the year I've been watching this movie now for 20 years, more than 20 years of my life, I've never been like, oh, Garrett Morris's character is like a race, like it's like a racist jab at him, like or like at this cat. Like I never took it that way until I literally. Earlier today,
Wally Amos. John Amos is the actor. Wally Amos.
Wally Amos. Okay.
Yeah. So just gotta correct that. Yeah. I was like, that's not his name. Like Wally Amos. Yes. Wally Amos is actually he is black. Yeah. Was black. If he's dead, he's probably dead. Oh wow, he just died 2024 recently.
Wow.
Yes.
R.I.P.
Yes, but he was the founder of Famous Amos cookies. He was black. So that is the reason why Chocolate Chip Charlie is black. It is literally that character put into this, that person put into a character in a movie.
I guess they just saw like chocolate.
Exactly.
And
I
it was a black
understand.
guy. Yeah, I don't get why they thought it was racist.
That's why I said
yeah.
separate from the context. I understand where you would say that. But if you're a film historian of any type and you're about to do commentary on a movie, that's part of the movie's lore that you should know. And you shouldn't be like, oh, that's a very racist name. It's like, no, this is a specific reference that he's trying to make in. It's a specific, like a political commentary within the film, and it clearly went right over their heads.
Yeah, once they didn't know who Arsenio Hall was, really, I was like, all right, these guys lost me a little bit. I was like,
that's why I say, like, these weren't the right guys for this comment. They
I've never
weren't
heard
bad.
of them, so yeah,
they weren't bad at it, but it was just like you're missing some real key elements of this, and a good key element of it is the literal American culture of the 80s and 90s, of what it was. You know, you don't know the brands, you don't know the celebrities. So why are you the ones chosen for this commentary? It didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it was bizarre. You know? That whole conversation they had threw me off. I was like, wait, this is a racist subtext? And I never took it that way, but
yeah.
All right. I guess they were
moving on from that.
They were wrong entirely. Next up, Paul Sorvino. Back to chewing up scenes.
And Mira Sorvino's in this too.
Yes, I have her there, I have there's another uncredited cameo. Yeah, but to stay on Paul Sorvino, such a ridiculous, over the top character, but it's great. It leans into it very of the time, even today. Like it just 2026. Looking at this movie now, super right wing character.
Yep.
He's a perv, some pervy undertones there. He's even blackmailed by Mo for having an affair with a young black woman, I think, if I remember correctly, which is a bizarre...
Can't let that out.
Bizarre scene, but it, like, again, works like with today's political climate.
He's he's a very like Rush Limbaugh.
Yes.
Type character.
Yes.
He's very Rush Limbaugh.
There's
like
he
today,
doesn't want people to know.
Yeah. Today it would be Alex Jones.
Yes.
It'd be Alex Jones, and moving into, unfortunately, it's becoming Joe Rogan. Back then it was a Rush Limbaugh, and I can't remember the name of the preacher. From the 70s. He's still around too. Lindsey Graham.
Yeah, you would know more than me. I don't follow any of those people, but I know what they stand for and what they do. Yep. But he's just Paul Sorvino would go on to do stuff like Romeo and Juliet and so many great movies.
He's Hollywood
after
royalty.
This. Yeah.
Even before this.
He was
The Godfather before this.
Cruising. He was
Godfather
in Cruising with Al Pacino.
This.
Was he in The Godfather? I don't remember. I know he's in Goodfellas. I don't remember him being in The God. So there's another actor here.
I think he's in Godfather too.
Was he? I don't remember.
I think he's in Godfather too.
But he is just so great. And this goes back to what I was joking around before about tuning up scenery. Every scene with Paul Sorvino and Michael Moriarty, you can just feel the two of them trying to one up each other. It's kind of like a Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff, Black Cat thing. What'd you discover, Manny?
No. You said Paul Sorvino. I'm thinking the other one. His name just fell out of my head. Danny Aiello.
Oh, Danny Aiello.
Danny Aiello. He's
Do
Godfather.
the Right Thing.
Yeah.
That's a little later. Yeah.
I
didn't even put him on. I didn't even.
No. I know.
I
just conflated the two names.
But yeah, Paul Sorvino he's great in this. Just overall, the character. It's so funny because the character's played so straight. And he's like rubbing up on Nicole his entire portion of the film. There's a scene, and I don't know if you
it says, I think you're rubbing on my girl there. Yeah, you're rubbing on my woman there.
Again, it's almost like the two of them were at odds on set and are using their characters to kind of like shit on one another. Like they're acting egos, but like that's what makes the scenes work so well between like, Michael Moriarty and Paul Sorvino. There's a scene though where the Colonel is holding Nicole's shoes or heels, because that's a running gag. She puts on these heels and is constantly like messing with her feet, taking them off, putting them back on, because it's a trope. You know,
that character of you try doing this in heels.
Yeah. It's great. It's such a great joke in the film. But there's a scene where the Colonel's next to Nicole. He's kind of like holding her, and he's holding her heels, and he's like shouting, "We have to let them know." And he's holding her heels and bringing them into, and you're like, why is he like, he's obviously trying to like, he's like, come on to this girl, holding her heels. It's so good. It's so great.
I think, knowing how Larry Cohen is,
Yeah.
I think that might have been intentional. It's one of those things where he's trying to say something about who this character is supposed to be. Like if you were gonna, like if you made a movie and you had like this little weirdo director and you constantly let him play with women's shoes, who is this a joke on?
Yeah, you're like you're like messing with somebody else, and they don't even realize it.
And
you're
I
like
think that's
ribbing them, to use a wrestling term. Yeah,
I think that might be what this is about. That the character is doing specific things. Like the radio host thing is Rush Limbaugh. The fact that he's got a radio and a TV studio, that's 100% Rush Limbaugh.
I mean, it's a whole right wing. The entire gag is a right wing.
It is.
It's like shitting on right wing militant men.
The crazy the conspiracy people who they live in bunkers and they're the militia people.
It's crazy to think that Larry Cohen was doing this 40 years ago. Crazy when you think about it. That's kind of the genius behind this film, and him as a director and like as a writer. Like he was doing this 4 decades ago.
Yeah, it would be called woke nonsense today.
It's fucking crazy.
They'd be complaining this is woke bullshit.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Hollywood's gone woke.
It is crazy to think that he was like, this character embodies a lot of what you see in today's society.
40 years ago.
In the mid 80s. So he's calling people communists, which is like there's one point where there's like a limo driver who comes out and he's like, what's going on? Like, you guys can't take me. He calls him, then that's enough of your liberal nonsense. And he jumps into the car. Like it's on the nose, you know?
Yeah. Another part of it is that Larry Cohen, especially at the time, is old enough to remember like the end of.
He was in the military, I think, if I remember. Yeah, he was in the military.
To Vietnam, number one.
Yeah.
Vietnam, all that, and what happened with all that. But he also remembers like the end of McCarthyism and Nixon and all that shit that went down. That is really where all this political divide really came from.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
When you know, and you know, so he's putting it all into that. But at the same time, as crazy as this guy is, it is all this, he's still one of the heroes of the movie.
Yeah.
So his character kind of embodies that thing of just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not after you.
I will permit this colored man to speak. But speak one word of the Commie Party line, or one word in code, and I will blow his head off.
Before I go, I have a couple of little small, just want to highlight some cast stuff, but I didn't write what Danny Aiello, how do you pronounce his last name?
Danny Aiello.
From Do the Right Thing, and you mentioned The Godfather 2.
He's in Godfather 2, yes.
Yeah,
that's why I was mixing the two up, yeah.
He's got another like New York guy, like just gives you like New York, old Italian vibes. Like in he's got one scene that I believe he works for the stuff, and he's the one that handles like the FDA.
Yeah, he was the FDA, like the head, he did the testing of the stuff. Yeah.
And Mo goes to him to sort of find information, but then you find out that his dog is being controlled by the stuff and kind of bullying him and watching him, making sure he doesn't let out any secrets about the stuff. And then he gets killed.
The stuff is sentient. Like even in a dog, it knows what he's.
It's watching out for itself. It's protecting its
almost
ass.
doesn't make sense because you gave him some secrets. Why didn't you just take out Mo? Why didn't the dog just go? The dog was very, very, very polite. He walked around with him. He was nice to Mo.
He was like, pet him. Mo was petting him and everything.
Which is funny too because Cohen said that the dog legitimately made them both nervous.
It's like a Saint Bernard, I think. If I
Doberman.
It's a big fucking dog. It's like Scooby Doo almost. Yeah.
But Cohen said that because Danny Aiello was hired last minute for that. I don't know if you did.
I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that.
Danny Aiello was hired literally the night before they were shooting. Whoever was supposed to play it,
I did hear. He wanted to use cue cards, I think, right? Because he didn't know his lines.
Yes and no.
Yeah,
that was so. so Larry Cohen, he had somebody else, and for whatever reason, guy wasn't going to be there. So he spoke to Danny Aiello and told him to come do it because they were friends and he was local. He was there. It was going to be one day. We'll shoot your whole thing in a day. So he's like, he got the whole script. He got there, and first off, the dog made him really nervous for whatever. So a lot of that behavior was, he was actually kind of scared because of the size of the dog.
It works for the performance.
Yes. And he said that Cohen said that they got through, he did the whole thing in a take and got through it all, and Danny Aiello did great. And then Aiello asked for the cue cards, and he's like, what do you mean no? He's like, no, you got this. He's like, well, I've only been reading this for a day, give me a chance to do. He said, and then he did the cue cards, and then he stopped shooting, and he told Aiello, he's like, look, the cue cards are distracting you. Like, he started reading the cue cards. He's like, you don't need this. And he convinced him to not do it. And they got rid of the cue cards and then shot it again.
Probably ad-libbed a bunch of stuff because Michael Moriarty was known for that.
Does.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what he was trying to let him do. And, he's like, and so.
I mean, it's a great scene.
Yes.
Again, like a lot of the other actors, like they're only in 1-2 scenes, but it's a great just performance. Like, I would have never guessed he even wanted to use cue cards. He's a great actor. I love Do the Right Thing. So, like, seeing him in this always kind of brings a smile to my face because he's great in Do the Right Thing. Well, he's honestly one of the best parts of Do the Right Thing.
He watched Brando use the cue cards. Why can't he use cue cards?
I mean,
if Brando
you're
can get
right.
away with
Godfather connection there too, funny enough. So
if Brando can do it, why can't I?
You're right. But he's great. And that one scene he's in with the dog and everything, it's a fantastic scene. All right. I have a couple cameos. You mentioned Mira Sorvino. Paul Sorvino's Mira Sorvino. His daughter, Paul Sorvino.
Extremely underrated, so fucking talented, and absolutely gorgeous.
I mean, dude, I can't even think the last thing she's been in. It's been a while.
That is a
crime that she's not doing more.
Yes, it is. It is, but no, it's what's his name? Fucking Harvey Weinstein.
Oh yeah, you're right. She had
because he fucking tanked her career because she wouldn't sleep with him.
That guy sucks.
Yep.
Yeah, she's in this very briefly. You see her as like I think a soldier, if I remember correctly. She's in the background. No, she's like in the office. I think.
Yeah, she's in the office or like
office.
She's a worker
brief.
somewhere.
It's like you blink and you'll miss it.
She's just there.
It's uncredited. Patrick Dempsey. I could not find him. He's in there somewhere. He's a soldier, I think. Patrick Dempsey's uncredited as well. They're both uncredited.
Stuff buyer. It says underground stuff buyer. So he's. Yeah, one of his first
roles. He's in the background. I couldn't find him. Mira Sorvino, I saw.
She's a factory worker.
You can see her because you do see her face. But Patrick Dempsey, I could not. It was like, where's Waldo? I could not find him in this fucking movie.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so he's in there somewhere. If anyone knows, let us know. Yep. Brooke Adams. A cameo in this movie, and I want to mention her because we did our Invasion of the Body Snatchers Battle Royal last year, and she was in the 78 Body Snatchers film, so I always forget she's got like a little stinger at the end credits, like the post-credit scene. Funny enough, this is a movie that has a post-credit scene way before that was a thing, and it's with Brooke Adams just saying, you can't get enough.
For some reason,
she must have just, she was a big actress, known actress at this time still, and Larry Cohen, I guess, just wanted to get like a face in there as a little. It's a gag. It's this known actress holding the stuff. So
doing a commercial.
Yes, it's great. Another known actor, Abe Vigoda. Godfather. Here we go. Here's another Godfather. A lot of Godfather references in this episode. And for some 90s kids, he was also in Good Burger. That's probably where you remember him from Good Burger. Abe Vigoda. Here's a funny one. The Where's the Beef old lady. Where's the beef? From the Wendy's commercials.
See, now in the theatrical.
Yes, I didn't want to get into it too much.
It's a quick second. So you don't even realize it's her.
Yeah.
Her and Abe Vigoda. The extended version, the two of them have a couple of spots.
Yeah,
because there's a lot more commercials. But we'll get into that later.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a second.
I was just trying to stop you because realize she's not really in the theatrical version. I think it's just her voice.
You see her. You see one line. You see one line. I think she just says, "I want the stuff."
I want the stuff.
That's all she says. Yeah, that's all she says. Because at that point, those ads were popular. But we'll get into that. In a few minutes. But yeah, I just want to like highlight the subtext a little bit. We did talk about it a little with Colonel Spears, but obviously the stuff is all a satire on American consumerism. Larry Cohen, when he talks about like getting the idea for this movie, I know it's like infamous now because I think he tells a story in every interview commentary that the idea popped up when he was in the shower. That's where all
He's
good
a shower
ideas
thoughts
come.
guy.
I
He's a
mean,
shower thoughts guy.
Some ideas come pop in my head when I'm taking a shower too, so I get it. I respect it. And his experience of being in the Army, like I hinted at earlier, and how they shipped all the soldiers cigarettes. Like the cigarette companies got them all hooked on cigarettes and smoking. Even if you weren't a smoker, by the time you came back home from Vietnam, you were a smoker because
that's where American cheese comes from.
Exactly. So people were
M&Ms,
all that stuff. Like, it's all consumerism. It's all kind of tricking people into getting addicted to these things.
Yeah,
and,
M&Ms were made so that the soldiers could have a treat. They literally wanted to make
sugary treat.
They were sending them chocolate and it was melting in shipment. So how they tried to find a way to make it so the chocolate would melt before it got to the soldiers and it would be portable. So they came up with the candy shell.
He also talks about like medication, which is still happening today. Like, stuff like Ozempic and all these other things where like ads would influence a person like, oh, you have acne, I think is what he compares it to, pimples, but you can take this pill or this medication and then you're going to have 50 other side effects. So all because of some pimples, you rather have like diarrhea, lack of sleep.
Dude,
heart
I say
palpitations.
That every time I see a commercial. It's like, there's antidepressant medications where a side effect is suicidal thoughts. Like,
oh God,
wait a second. I've already got that. That's already part of my problem.
I mean, it's like, listen, you're going to give me acne if I take this medication. Or you're going to give me like possible blood clots. No, thank you. Like, like I don't want any of that. But yeah, like that's what the subtext of the entire film is. It's advertising, the FDA, corporate greed,
and groupthink.
And yes, exactly.
And groupthink.
100%. And I think it does a great job at poking fun of all of that. I mean, that's what America's built on to this day. I mean, we're Americans. We do podcasts. Like, it's all, everything now, social media, more than anything, is consumerism. And I can't think of any other films that are kind of, this is a cult film, but like, stuff like Black Mirror, I guess, is a good example where they're kind of doing something similar about consumerism, social media.
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead, which was in the 70s, predates this.
Yeah.
And I think the stuff does a great job at sort of getting that point across. And it's funny because even like the Paul Sorvino character, we already dived into him, but that character really pushes it through.
There's a lot more of those coming out now. A lot of horror films that are starting to get that political message again.
I get why they're doing it. Yeah.
100%, but it's nice to see it is happening again. It's a little more blatant now than it used to be. Like it was a lot more, it was written into more subtext and stuff. Like again, Sorvino is a very ridiculous character.
I mean, it's written really well in this script, I think. Yeah. Overall,
it is.
The whole presentation of just kind of the satire of American consumerism is done perfect. I think the stuff is like should be up there in like satire when it comes to that part of American history and just kind of how we work as a society. What's one thing I wrote in my notes, and I'm curious what you think of this. And it is only because I've watched the stuff 3 times this month. Halloween 3. We all love Halloween 3. I feel like the stuff in Halloween 3 would make for a great double feature.
I can agree with that.
I don't think Halloween 3, this is crazy to say, and I love Halloween 3. I think the satire and subtext in Halloween 3 is not as well crafted. As much as I love it, I think the stuff does a better job. Because Halloween 3 is obviously poking fun at American consumerism with like, an invasion of the body snatchers twist.
But this is about the product itself.
Yes. Whereas Halloween 3 is like, the product is bad, but it never goes all the way with
the product itself is not bad. It's the people who make the product.
Yes.
This is the product.
But I think the two movies would work well together.
I can see that.
I never
100%.
thought about that until recently. I was like, wow, like watching the stuff so many times as I did for this episode, I was like, yeah, you know what? Halloween 3, it's both got like the guy who like has this woman just fall in love with him, like out of nowhere. Where Halloween 3 has its reasons towards the end. That doesn't really happen in the stuff. But, you know, he's trying to defeat the evil corporation and he's on a hunt. It's kind of like a road movie where they're bouncing around between different states, New York, the suburbs, Long Island, because Jason's from Long Island. Yeah. They go to, I think, is it Georgia they go to? Where do they go where the factory is?
I think so. That
Something like that. They go to the South, if I remember correctly. Very East Coast heavy film. So yeah, I was just thinking about that. I was like, yeah, Halloween 3 has a lot of similarities to this movie, and they came out close. You know, Halloween 3 was first, but I think it was 83, and this is 85. But
it is though. It's more about the Halloween 3 is more about Cochran and what he's doing. This is the product itself that's evil, and you know,
it's almost like there is a version
the cult
of Halloween.
behavior. The cult behavior that builds around the product. You know, the other one, it's a cult creating a product.
Yeah, it's almost like Halloween 3 could have gone that route, but they didn't fully pull the trigger. Maybe like the world wasn't there yet. Maybe at that point, I don't know.
So, I just don't think that was that was the intention.
No, I know, but it could have easily fit into that script if you think about it.
It could have. You could have.
100%.
You could have made a little bit more about it. Yeah, I think so.
Before we get into the pre-release cut, I do want to talk a little bit about the special effects because, I mean, you got to highlight like Chocolate Chip Charlie's face expanding.
Yep. Oh, man.
And all of the stuff shooting out of his like giant tongue thing. You mentioned it earlier, the guy with the long face inside the gas station with his like elongated jaw and all.
Nobody's mouth could open that wide, he says.
A lot of that was made, and I didn't know this until I listened to the commentary, but fire extinguisher foam.
Yes.
So anytime.
No, not anytime.
Not anytime, but not when they were eating it.
He used different things throughout the course based on what they needed it to do.
Okay. Because I did read it was fire extinguisher foam for like scenes where they needed a lot of it to just fill a room. Yes. But apparently it smelled really bad because it's made of fish bones, like ground up fish bones. But whenever someone ate it, it was either yogurt, whipped cream, and I think sour cream.
Yes,
they used.
Yeah,
it's like anytime you see the actors eating it.
Yeah, the scene you just mentioned with the guy on the ground, and then you see it running towards. I think that was a moving room that they did.
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street, the rotating room. Yeah,
and that was liquid plastic. It was some type of liquid plastic
like a foam
that
or something that dries up, right? It hardens. No,
it's fully like hot liquid plastic. Like remember those Bloonies? Do you remember a Bloonie? It was that little toy. It looked like a roll of toothpaste only it was only like this big. And it came with the straw and you blew it.
Damn, dude.
Yes. It's liquid plastic.
I forgot about that straw with the bubble and the plastic like latex thing. Oh shit. Until now.
That's like liquid plastic. So they used the liquid like that. And they poured it in and then they turned the room so that it would roll toward the window.
I mean, you see it like fully engulf a guy, like a stunt guy gets just covered in the shit.
Yeah, that's not the plastic.
No,
they needed the plastic so that it would run smoothly toward the window. So,
and all the times,
there's all different.
I mean, it all looks the same too when you think about it.
It does.
It almost like there's no separation like when they're eating it.
Yeah,
when it's
there's
in the
one
fridge.
scene where you could tell that like okay that's almost milk, like they thickened milk. It looks like in the supermarket I'm gonna say that was mostly like sour cream because it's very it's very thin and you know so it's like they're looking at like well we got a large mess to clean up, make it something easy to clean. You know.
And there's a lot of superimposed like really early green screen that's questionable in the movie too. But whatever, for the quality.
When Mo is electrocuting it and he's just shaking his hand.
There's
like,
one terrible shot of Jason and Nicole, I think when they're like trying to escape it and it's filling the room and chasing them, where it's like a shot of the two of them and it's like behind them and they turn and leave the frame and it just looks like you can see the seams. Like it just looks horrible, but it's like one frame. It's like one shot basically.
Yeah.
And it just looks really bad. But this was 85, and it's a Larry Cohen movie. It's to be. I mean, Q the Winged Serpent has a lot of questionable early CGI green screen stuff.
It was all claymation too. A lot of stop motion.
Stop motion.
You know, there was some stop motion for the stuff as well. You know, I think in when Jason's looking in the refrigerator, that's stop
That's
motion.
a great sequence, though.
Yes,
I love that sequence.
And again, there's a longer version of it, which was so cool to see.
Yeah. I mean, you see it leave and then like go back into the cup and then lean back. It's like obviously reverse, like shot in reverse, and it was great. Just the way they had the stuff moving around in those sequences works great. One more thing before we jump into the pre-release version, briefly, I can't believe they've never sold edible the stuff.
He tried.
I know that, but I can't believe now there's not like a boutique company trying to like sell the stuff.
Sort of.
Well, yeah, you're not selling the stuff, like legit the stuff.
I had when I was at the Overlook Film Fest 2 years ago. They partnered with this one local ice cream company, and they created 2 different ice creams. One was the Beyond, and the other one was the Stuff, and it was a vanilla marshmallow. So I actually have a little pint. I should have had it for here, but it's a little pint cup that they made, and they made the stuff. They put the stuff wrapper on it and everything. So it was like vanilla. It's vanilla ice cream with like marshmallows and something else was in it. It was pretty good.
I'm just surprised. Like again, no one's like selling the stuff.
Yeah,
you know, like there's
said that they tried, but it was after all that it was too expensive.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been cool. Get it in stores. I mean, you can buy the container and fill it with vanilla yogurt if you're. I mean, that's really all it is. But still, it would have been cool to actually get the stuff. It is calorie free. So
that's not going to happen.
Missed opportunity.
Not in this country.
Not in this country.
Calorie free yogurt? No. Yogurt ice cream's not going to happen.
No. And if it was 0 calories, it would taste like shit.
You are not thinking about going after it.
I hope you got a gun on you, Charlie.
How many times must I tell you my hands are lethal weapon?
Yeah, I hope you're right, because if that thing tries to kill me, you kill me first.
So the first thing I want to mention when it comes to like this new pre-release cut that's exclusive to this Arrow Video 4K release is the music. So I said it when I was breaking down what was on this disc. So much better. Dwight Dixon's original score.
So much
it's just not as like there's that terrible like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes
hero music.
Oh my
god.
God.
The General, I've always hated it. It's like the A-Team out of nowhere. Like
it reminds me again Attack of the Killer Tomatoes music. It's so bad. And like
every time the General does something, I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
That had to be like a studio interference choice. I mean, I didn't look into it, but
I don't know.
Like the heavy synth original score from Dwight Dixon is so much better, darker, eerier. It gives
it the Thing feel, like the Thing and the Fly. It really has that. Like they're doomed. Invasion of the Body Snatchers feel is still here.
It changes the tone of the film
completely.
And it's just weird that, we've been watching this movie now for 40 years. Everyone's been watching it for 40 years with the original terrible score. That watching it with this, I'm like, God damn, why? I don't even know why. Why would you change it? It just doesn't. I think the studios, the people that were distributing this, didn't want it to be. I think they wanted a horror movie. He was making a satire, and it was just not an agreement for like the tone of the movie. Like it's a satire. It's not really a full blown horror movie. It's not very gory because of all the white goo coming out of everybody, not blood and gore. And then this music being creepier, eerier, feels more like, again, like they're just doomed to Paul Sorvino's, like the Colonel's character being all heroic and military music is just terrible. I even think when Moe's running across stuff, it's like he has like a hero piece of music as well that's just not good. So just not. This is an improvement if you love the stuff and you're on the fence of buying this, like, this new release, get it for this version alone. Just to watch it with this much better music, just much better score and music overall in the pre-release cut. Now, I did not write every single change in this because we'd be here for as long. We're already here long. Would be here even longer. I just kind of highlighted a couple of moments I think were just improvements to the film and stuff I wish were in the original cut. First thing I have that I noticed, and we kind of already hinted at it with the Where's the Beef Lady, longer commercials for
A lot more commercials.
A lot more. So Larry Cohen initially, to tease this film, he wanted to air on TV faux commercials for the stuff, like it was a real product.
Like it was a real product, yeah.
And trick people, and then eventually release a full-blown theatrical trailer so people know it's a movie. It's tied to a film.
Get people wanting to buy the stuff. Like, oh, what is this new thing? And then release this, and the stuff, the commercials, it's a movie.
It would have been brilliant if they would have done this.
It would have been viral marketing in 1985.
Before it was a thing.
Viral marketing.
I mean, he was ahead of its time with that. So in the pre-release version, because we do get it in the original cut of the film, but it's shortened, we get more ads for
at least
the stuff.
4 more. At least four new commercials.
The ones I jotted down, the 2 that stood out to me were we talked about it, the Where's the Beef Lady. It's like extended by a minute with Abe Vigoda. I mean, you see them for 2 seconds. In this, like, Abe Vigoda has like dialogue.
Yeah, you get the full commercial. Yeah,
you get her saying, "I want the stuff. Where's the stuff?" Like she does this whole thing. It happens
so often. It's almost like watching the movie on TV with a commercial break.
Yeah,
like that's how many new commercials there are. Like it just randomly will go to another stuff commercial. It felt like watching a movie on TV. You know,
and I'm assuming
there was a moment where there were 2 stuff commercials back to back.
Yeah, and it makes me feel like these were the commercials he wanted to use for this ad campaign to advertise the movie. Like isolate the Where's the Beef. I mean, the Where's the Beef old lady was so popular at the time.
Yes.
So like, imagine
it would
having
have made people think it was a real product.
Like the stuff.
Having her and Abe Vigoda in the commercial would have 100% sold it as a product.
Yes. And then there's another commercial that has like a big group of attractive young people dancing in a restaurant with like white walls. Dancing like to the stuff song. Yeah, it's like interesting. It's like almost like it almost feels like a aerobics commercial in a restaurant. And
which was also huge.
Yeah, huge in 85, yeah. And then they're, dancing and singing, holding containers of the stuff. And those are the 2 that stood out to me as far as extended commercials go. But there's so many sprinkled throughout. I mean, they kind of fizzle out. The last act of the film, it's really like the first 45 minutes where you see all this, and that's where a lot of this stuff is added as far as the faux commercials go for the stuff. The other thing I added, we also hinted at it, Mo and Nicole's relationship is more fleshed out. So
a lot more. We
see them go to a hotel where she kind of wants to backtrack, if I remember correctly. That's all extended.
So this is what I was saying earlier, is it kind of hurts her character. I like the longer storyline between them and everything, but it makes her she's almost so anyway, let me go this way with it. He shows up in the theatrical cut. He shows up to her. She's doing the photo shoot and everything. And then he says, and he interrupts everything. And they have their conversation. Oh, let's talk about this, whatever. And then they leave. In the extended cut, you find out what he said to her. And he lies to her. He tells her that he's a billionaire oil executive and he wants to buy her company and hire her company to change the image of the oil industry. You did so well for the stuff, you should do it for us. And now the next, I'm going to say 8 minutes or so of the film is basically her pushing him to sleep with her, or she's seducing him now because he's going to buy her company and make her rich. Which is like, that is not the character that is in this film at all.
It's weird too, because there's a scene later where he reveals what his true motive.
Yes.
And she just forgives him. It's
exactly
like my one issue with the movie. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, and then
she's not even mad at him. She's not even like, oh, you lied to me.
Nothing.
She's just like, whatever.
Like, I got to tell you something. I've been lying to you this whole time. I'm not a billionaire. I'm not actually an oil executive. I'm not buying your company, nothing. I'm actually just trying to take down the stuff. And at no point does she look at him and say, wait, we've been sleeping together for like 4 days now.
Yeah. I mean, even told her he loves her.
Yes. And
just met this woman.
Exactly. So they do that and they go back to his hotel. They go back and he's, I bet my room's bigger than yours, you know? They go back to the hotel and they go back to her hotel.
Mm-hmm.
They go back to her hotel room. And then after all of this sexual innuendo and everything here and there, he's like, do you think that I'm here to sleep with you? Do you think we're here for anything other than business? And she makes it about more than business. Like she calls down to the because he's I got a date that I'm coming up. She calls the front desk and says whoever comes for him, tell them he's unavailable, you know? And she outwardly throws herself at him because he may not actually buy. I might buy your company and just fire you and fire you and take it all. She's like, so you would ruin my career. She says this to him. These are the lines. You would ruin my career out of spite? And he goes, oh, absolutely. And then that's when she calls downstairs to tell them, don't let whoever comes for him. She's essentially gonna sleep with him to keep him from ruining her whole business, from ruining her reputation. She's actually gonna sleep with him to get that, you know? And then a few minutes later, oh wait, all of that was bullshit. She slept with him for that specific, and like you said, she doesn't get upset. She doesn't say, she just, no, you're right. We have to take, and that's why I said that the extra scenes, while I like that we have more of them, it changes her character entirely.
I see why they cut them out. It does slow down the film too. Like, honestly,
slows it down. Yeah. And it makes it like, no, now she is a kind of just a dumb damsel in distress. She's just following the hero around, you know? Oh, as long as he has her attention, she's happy, you know? Like she's literally only sleeping with him because he threatened to ruin her career. So it's kind of like, what an asshole. Like, you're a fucking ass. Like, what a piece of shit.
I mean, it's still in the original cut. It still kind of comes off that way because he tells her a little bit. Yeah,
but
it's still.
But none of that. I'm gonna buy your company and I'm gonna turn you into. I'm gonna make you this, and then 5 minutes later, well, I could buy your company and shut it down entirely.
I took the scene, like my perspective on it. Like I agree with some of your points, but like I also took it as like she was taking charge. Like she saw something she wanted and she got it. Like she still wanted to sleep with him. Like
yes, but what she wanted was the billionaire to buy her company and make her rich. And she's sleeping with him to seal the deal. Not that she wanted to sleep with him.
She stays with him.
She does eventually. Which is why I say
she
it
learns
ruins
the truth.
her character. She learns the truth and she continues like, no, dude, this whole time has been a lie. You have lied to me from the minute I met you. I slept with you because of your lie.
That's the scene we needed in the film, if I'm being honest. Yeah, that's the scene we really needed.
And she should have been like, fucking out of here, done, and she would have left. You want to take over the stuff? Good luck. I hope it fucking kills you.
There could have easily been a scene. Like, honestly, I know I don't want to jump forward, but like, that's actually like one of my only like stuff I don't like.
There's no moment where he redeems himself based on that storyline.
Yes, and that's why I kind of like earlier I was like, she's kind of still a damsel in distress, like in my opinion, because
a little bit.
Like she's independent, she saves him, she does all that, like I said before, but. Like there could have been a scene where she was like, how could you lie to me? And even if Mo is like, listen, let's talk about this later. I still care about you. We've got other things to worry about. There's a fucking white cream killing everybody. You know, like she doesn't like that doesn't even happen.
None of that happens.
He's just like, I lied to you. Okay. Where's the military? Like
she's more upset. She's more upset that the other people lied to her.
Yeah,
that they lied to her. They didn't tell me what this was made of. That this is killing.
So weird.
Okay, they're both lying to you. You should be like, you know what? Fuck both of you.
That's poor script writing. If we're being honest, that's basically what that is. Like character motivation there is like just doesn't exist.
You
for
know
her.
What? That's I'm just gonna say that's how men write women.
Yeah.
That's how a lot of men write women. 100%.
To be fair,
that is how men write women. Where men are always I've said this many times about it, like Hammer films. Men are always the object of a woman's affection. So if she doesn't have a man to latch onto, she's basically useless.
Yeah,
that's
a weird
kind of.
This is a very weird example. Like a very weird scenario, just kind of her character, and very on the nose of just the way some female characters were written back in the day.
There is one way of looking at it where, because it's so like, what are you kidding me? It's almost like a badly written satire of how men write women. It's almost like he did it intentionally, but it's like it doesn't come off like you did that intentionally. It actually is, no, that's just how men write women. Where's the satire in this? Is, you know what I mean? Like, you're writing it satirically, but you missed the part where you're making it so ridiculous that you're making a point. It's like, no, you just wrote it that way.
It doesn't come off as like a joke or anything.
No,
it's
it
just
doesn't.
like played straight, not even played for laughs. So it's a little bizarre. Two more things I wrote here for the pre-release. Not number one, but the first point. The two like homeless men, I don't know if that's what they were. That's extended.
Which two?
The two at the very beginning that discover the stuff on the mine, like the mine.
They're the mine workers.
Yeah, they're mine workers or whatever. Yeah,
whatever it was they were doing. Those guys, they were
men. I have no idea.
No, because the guy behind him, hey, come on, me, and he says, no, go ahead, I'll catch up. No, whatever that factory was, they were working.
They worked there. They discover the stuff. They try it. And then the two of them are like, oh, we'll let the people who own the land know, but we want to cut of the profits of the stuff. We never see them again, which would have been nice to see them again.
But you can tell they sold it to someone, and now there's another, like a holding company that's managing.
Everything moves very quickly in this movie.
That's always bothered me too, that like these guys discover it, and then we go through this whole thing of the stuff. I've always thought, what happened to the two guys in the beginning?
Yeah.
Where are they? Who?
I mean, the next scene that we see the stuff, it's like this phenomena. Everyone's eating it. Yes. Everyone's obsessed with it. So it's like we never see. It moves really fast. We never see what happens in between. It's like almost bookend with discovering the stuff. The stuff is a big deal, and that's it. So, but that scene is extended. We do get to like hear them bickering a bit more about like, oh, I want a cut of it. I want something. Oh, we'll have to go. So I like that was a little longer. I see why they cut it. It wasn't necessary, but I think it works. The other scene, and probably the scene in my opinion that the movie could have used, is the sequence where Jason is at the police precinct. His parents pick him up.
Oh, yes. I forgot about this.
And the therapist kind of shows up from like, a hospital. And they're kind of questioning him, his motives behind the whole, like, he freaked out at the supermarket and knocked over all the stuff and knocked it off out of people's hands and off the shelves. He's, brought to the precinct, and he kind of blames it on them not collecting his bottle. Like you get when you give the supermarket the bottles, they give you like a nickel or whatever. I forget what it's called. It's not recycling, but it's like bottle exchange, return or whatever. When you return like a glass bottle, you get 5 cents. I know every state is different, so I don't know. He says that they denied him or something along those lines. And that's why he kind of flipped out and knocked down, all of the stuff.
It came up with some bullshit.
That scene would have been great to add because you see how smart this kid is by tricking, his now possessed parents. I think it's insinuated that the therapist might be possessed by the stuff as well because she's questioning why he knocked down the stuff. Now, there is a part of that sequence that is stupid and didn't need to exist. His older brother.
Why?
Singing.
What is this?
Like singing to the like the other cop standing outside of like the room.
He's reciting
It's from something famous. I recognize
the Telltale Heart.
Yes, there you go.
He's reciting the Telltale Heart. And it's like, what the fuck does this have to do with anything?
I almost feel like they cut out that sequence because of that. Like there was no way to really maybe cut around it.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. Like that's what I'm thinking.
That's it. It's the older brother in the hallway with a random cop and there something, I forget what they say, something like, break the silence, something. I don't remember exactly how it started, but he says, and his eye stared at me. And he does like a minute and a half of the Telltale Heart. Like for monologuing. For what reason?
It's never foreshadowed that he's like in a play or something like that either. It's weird, out of left field. And I'm telling you, I think that's probably why they cut the scene, because the scene outside of that stupid part is a good scene. And it would have worked for just Jason's motivation to like trick his parents, try to escape later because he knows they're possessed by the stuff. And that's really the main scene in this cut, more of him. They cut some other stuff with him that's extended later on, like in the house, I think, if I remember correctly.
There's a lot of scenes that are now longer.
Yeah. Chocolate Chip Charlie, like you mentioned earlier.
There's more of his adventure.
Yeah, more of him discussing and talking to Mo. But I really think,
Mo
honestly,
getting on the yacht. and
Yes.
walking in and then leaving. There's a lot more of that.
Those are things you can see being trimmed for time. Like, we don't need to see him walk. You know what I mean? Like,
a lot of the stuff is extended, but I see that they cut scenes to get to the point. Like, they don't really, it doesn't really add more to the story. It adds context to certain things, but a lot of the scenes are just like, it went from 3 minutes to 2.5, you know? And,
I mean, dude, it's like an hour and what the original runtime is like an hour and 26 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
And the pre-release version is like almost 2 hours, like 58 an hour 58, I think.
Yeah.
So they really like those scenes, like this sequence with Jason's
Well,
parents is pretty long. The hotel scene
is.
that we talked about is pretty
yeah,
long.
all of that stuff, their conversation
extra 10
in the
minutes of the
photo
movie.
shoot.
Yeah.
It is. It's about 10 minutes from the photo
Yeah.
shoot that's cut out and the hotel and all that. Yeah, it's a good 10 minutes of that.
Honestly, the
But it
ads,
doesn't-
that scene in
Ads
the
add
hotel,
another-
Jason's extra scene with the therapist at the pre-scene are really what make up a chunk of the new content, the new scenes in this film. So,
Well, there's more of the general
Yeah.
in the end. But again, they're not like extra scenes. They're just longer. It's beginnings and endings of scenes.
They just
you know?
shortened it, tightened
There
up
is
scenes.
something, yeah, that when you watch the theatrical, there is kind of, like you said earlier, it just kind of keeps moving. And I think that's why, because there's a lot of beginning and ending of scenes that were trimmed. So a lot of scenes feel like you're just kind of jumping into them because the opening, like, establishment of them starting the conversation is gone and the ends of the conversations are gone. And now you just have the meat of it.
yeah, I
you
mean,
know?
the original cut isn't bad. Like it
No,
doesn't take
no.
away from anything, but
If a lot of this stuff was in the original cut, you would think the movie was too long. Knowing the story, knowing it, and having seen the original,
many
spent
times.
my whole life
yeah.
watching this.
Yeah.
This just felt like, oh, there's something extra, and it was really nice. But it
For
doesn't.
fans of the film, if you're a fan of
Yes.
the movie, this is a
Yes.
cool version to watch. I
it's
do
not
think the
like-
Jason scene would have been cool to be in the final cut
Yeah.
of the movie. Out of all these scenes, even more
that
so
would
than the
have been nice.
trailers,
Yes.
even more so than not the trailers, the faux commercials. I mean,
commercials.
The commercials are great. Like the "Where's the Beef" one, they maybe could have kept. And not, maybe the one with the people dancing was pointless. I
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
won't even. As much as I love it, it's pointless. But the "Where's the Beef" one made sense.
It did.
That Jason scene, out of all this, I feel the movie could have used.
It developed his character more, and like you said, it shows how he's actually
Yeah.
understanding what's happening, and he's trying to outsmart them.
Yeah.
You know,
Except for
it
the
does-
stupid
it
brother
does show
singing.
that. And then and then it adds to the end when they say he's not a kid anymore.
Here, Jason, take some.
You know what I said about that? That was the truth. And you know that there is something alive in there.
So one of my favorite shots in the movie is a quick one. It's towards the end of the movie. So it's at the end of the film. There's a shot of a McDonald's, a KFC, and a stuff restaurant in the middle. Because in the movie,
Okay.
they have their own restaurants.
Pop-ups, restaurants,
they
yeah,
have, like,
drive-ins.
ice cream trucks and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
That
So-
truck is so weird
Yeah.
too. They had that. It was like a van with like just a hole cut out.
Doesn't one try to run over Mo at one point?
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah.
But it's not even like an ice cream truck
Yeah.
hole. It's like a hole that's part of the door.
Yeah.
Like it's like what
With the
I think-
purple and blue and white like branding on it.
You know what?
So-
I think it might have been I'm almost thinking that might have been like a camera production truck that they,
They
just put the stuff logo
branding on it.
You know, because it's
Yeah.
such a weird spot for that hole. I'm looking at like maybe that might be where you stick a camera out of it.
Probably.
I think that might have been a production truck.
Save
They
money.
just
Yeah.
they just put the
So-
stuff logo on it because it's such a weird hole.
So they do something similar, but with a restaurant.
Yeah.
But it's in between, like I said, a McDonald's and a
Mm-hmm.
KFC. And they blow it up. They just blow the shit up. And I'm like, I think what they did was, and it looks believable. I think it's a miniature and they superimposed it in between two real restaurants. Because there's no way they're faking a KFC.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
this
yeah.
looks like a real McDonald's with that
Yeah.
old school 80s
It was
like
either a
kids
painting
playground.
or, a
Remember
forced
that
perspective
stupid
miniature.
tree
Yeah.
with the fry people that you could sit on, their little
Yes.
stools? You see the dumb tree, the nugget tree or whatever the hell it is. Like, and I was like,
It's a
they
hamburger.
must have, yeah, whatever. There was like Mayor McCheese and all that,
Yep.
like the Playland. that they used to have back in the day. So you
What
see
made
it.
McDonald's worth going to.
Yes, that was the only reason.
That's it. Now
Just
it's
the
a
Playland.
millennial hellscape. It's all
I can't believe they
gray
got
and-
rid of that. Was a tangent for another day, but I can't believe they got rid of all those like Playland, like with all the characters and stuff. Corporate
Capitalism.
greed. Corporate
Literally
greed.
corporate greed.
Yes.
Literally corporate greed did that.
We don't want you guys exercising. We don't want these children eating McNuggets and burning it off.
No, it had nothing to do with
Yeah,
that.
I know.
It has
I
to do
know.
with reselling the buildings.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
sucks.
like if you see an old school Pizza Hut, it looks like a Pizza Hut, no matter what it is. It looks-
yeah.
That's why they got rid of it, because it makes it easier to resell their buildings.
Yeah, that sucks.
Did you see Pizza Hut's coming back?
Really?
There's this one guy, side tangent, there's this one guy that owns like 50 or 60 Pizza Huts, and he wants to, because he can't do the outside,
He wants to do like the old school Pizza Hut.
Yeah, he wants to
Yeah.
remodel the insides to look like the old Pizza Huts with the red cups and the glass
When Pizza Hut was
chandeliers at the end.
good.
Yes.
The
Yep.
salad bar.
He's bringing it back.
Are they going
He's
to bring
like-
back the Bigfoot pizza as well? Like,
I don't know. I don't know.
Remember that dumb pizza?
Yes,
the
yes.
Bigfoot.
The big 3-foot pizza. Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah,
stupid.
no, but he's like the owner of like the most
Yeah.
franchises of Pizza Hut, and
Okay.
he wants to remodel all of them to bring it back because he thinks customers want this. And you're fucking right. We've always wanted
I mean, yeah, Pizza Hut's not the same
Nope,
anymore.
It's got to be something special, man. Dude, when they got rid of that salad bar,
Yeah. Yeah.
garbage.
Sucked. But yes, seeing an old school McDonald's and KFC sandwiching a stuff
Memories, like
blowing
the corner
up.
of my mind. Misty watercolored memories.
That shot with the stuff building blowing up, just kind of symbolism right there.
Yep.
Like with the
Yep.
McDonald's, KFC.
Burn it to the ground.
Right next to
Burn 'em
I
down.
mean, that one shot to
Yes.
me is like, that is the movie.
Yes, it is.
Now, the one thing I don't like, and this is a nitpick, and this is kind of like me just being like a nerd for horror movies. And like, we do this for the show. We never really find out what the stuff is.
No.
Is it a natural thing that came from the center of the earth? Is it an alien like the Blob? Is it an experiment from the government?
Yeah,
we
there's
never
no
learn.
answer.
We never learn. Would have been nice to even kind of get like a tease, like, oh, it was a government experiment that leaked, or it just came from the center of the earth, which
That's mostly, because they have
because
the
it's a
quarry.
mining,
they have the
mining
quarry that they're
company,
mining. Yeah.
where they maybe accidentally broke a hole into something
it's
and it comes out
basically-
of there.
The answer is basically like even the people who are mining it don't know, because once they started using it, it's taking over them.
It's
and
delicious.
That's it.
That's
they
it.
don't they
Yeah.
don't answer any they don't ask questions. It
Yeah.
controls them from that point forward, and
It's the
Yeah.
only like little thing where it's like the movie moves so quick, we never really get an answer of what it is.
Yeah.
What is this substance that everyone's addicted to?
it's
But
the body
you don't-
snatchers without the ability to explain themselves.
You don't need to know what it is in reality.
you really
That's why I
don't.
said it's a more of a nitpick, because it doesn't affect my enjoyment of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like we watched The Blob. We know it's an alien. We know
Yeah.
the Blob came from another planet, landed here, is killing people. In this, we don't need to know, because
Yeah.
that's not the point.
You don't
of
know what the
film.
thing is,
Yeah.
You don't know
you're
what the
right.
thing is.
But we know it's an alien.
but that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
You don't know-
This,
you
we
don't
don't know
really
what
know.
the hell it is. We don't know if it's an alien,
Yeah, I guess so.
natural,
Yeah, it's
or,
even
or
less.
an
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
It's even less. It's even more ambiguous.
it's more
What is this
ambiguous. Yeah. What is this thing? It's just white goo that
How
we
did
think
it get
tastes
there?
good.
Where did it come
Humans
from?
love it. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's sentient. Like you said earlier, we know it's alive,
Yep.
but where did it come from? That's really my only nitpick.
Mhm.
Outside of that, this movie's awesome. Like
It is.
I've
love
got
it.
nothing to say really bad about it. That's, I've got little things here and there, more chocolate chip Charlie. I talked about the relationship between Nicole and Mo. It moves quick with the plot, but
Yeah.
that's really what's great about the movie. You can just sit and watch it. There's just nothing about it that's kind of offensive.
No.
It's the stuff,
That's it.
That's it. That's really all it is. Your final thoughts, Manny, on the stuff.
I fucking love this stuff.
That's it. He loves it. Can't
That's
get
it,
enough
man.
of it.
I've always loved this movie. I want more Chocolate Chip Charlie. I think Garrett Morris is phenomenal in this. His character is, like you said, it's very little bit. He's not
Makes an
in
impact.
much of, but he's so charismatic. There's again, and him too, and Paul Sorvino
Yeah.
is so, and Michael Moriarty. The three of them are so charismatic, and they're so just fun to watch. Like you can just follow them. You know that they're ad-libbing stuff. You know that they're throwing things in and they're doing things for themselves.
One-upping each other.
They are. And it makes every scene with them so fun and so nice to watch.
The scene with the three of them, you're like, damn, they're trying to they're all trying to like, I can overact more than you, dude.
It makes me feel like there was another thing that the 80s had was actors that didn't look like what you think of as this is what an actor looks like. Like everyone's pretty now. Everyone's good looking now. Like Robert Zarr would not have a career today.
Yeah.
Someone like him would not have a career.
Everyone looks like a model, basically.
Yes, but Garrett Morris, he's not an ugly. He's no Robert Zarr, but he's not Denzel Washington either.
Yeah.
He's not Idris Elba. Those are our big actors. He's not good looking like them. He's just a normal looking guy.
He's like an everyman. He just looks like,
Michael Moriarty is a normal looking guy. These guys weren't like that. They were just actors.
Yeah, listen, it's a dying kind of, they're a dying breed, I guess.
Yes.
It's been a dying breed. I know I've said this. I've been on the couch with with the wife and we watch a movie like Jack Nicholson was not this like Henry Cavill type actor. He wasn't this like handsome dude. And when you watch the stuff with these guys, like you just mentioned, they're all just like, these are dudes you can hang out with and have a beer. Like these are not,
They're just no. And
they're
that's
enjoying a
funny.
pizza and a beer,
That's something that I found out through this too, that Michael Moriarty's wearing a wig.
Yeah, he's wearing a toupee because he was losing his hair.
Every one of Larry Cohen's movies, he gave him a different wig.
Yeah.
And Moriarty didn't want to wear them.
Because he had like a thinning hairline or something like that. Yeah.
And apparently everybody said, wow, you make him. That was one of his anecdotes that Larry Cohen said, that everybody commented like, oh, you make Michael look so young in your movie. He's like, yeah, because I'm giving him a fucking hairpiece.
Giving him a hair because he was losing his hair. So it's,
He's one of those guys. He's been losing his hair since he was young.
I mean, look at, again, Jack Nicholson. He pulled that shit off for years. He was losing his hair and he was getting all the ladies.
He was eyebrows. He was all.
But again, kind of like the way movies are now, like everyone's just and it doesn't even matter age. You could be 20 or 60, abs. Looking like Brad Pitt over here. Like it's crazy.
Look at fucking Paul, what's his name in Ant-Man, for God's sake, man.
I know.
The dude was in his 50s. He was close to 50 by the time he did that. And look at him, suddenly Henry Cavill overnight.
He's a model. Yeah, I mean,
come on, man.
It's definitely it's a lost art form of getting actors that just look like people. Like casting people that look like. There will
never be another Clint Howard.
Yeah. Yes. There never will be. He is in a breed of his own. He's over there. There's no Clint Howard.
And every movie you look forward to him in the movie.
Yeah. I think the only guy doing it today, and I'm not gonna say he makes great movies, Rob Zombie's casting people that are not like these models.
He's still casting those same people.
Tarantino does it too sometimes, but his leads are usually pretty attractive guys, on John Travolta and Bruce Willis, Sam Jackson. He's a handsome guy. Even if he's older, he's still a handsome dude.
Yeah.
And then the women, Uma Thurman, come on, like stuff like that. He's still, but he'll cast like his supporting roles would be like an oddball.
Occasionally, he'll throw that Robert Blake in there.
Yeah, something weird like that. But even still, I mean, it's Hollywood. I get it. It's filmmaking, but it's good to see people that just look like the everyman in a movie. And you really only see that in older films.
Look like a human being.
Yeah, look like a human being. But my final thoughts, and I got a little spiel here. My thoughts. The stuff is a satire that feels irrelevant today. We discussed all that, poking fun at how easily we buy into things that we might want or not want to be addicted to. The entire movie's about. It's one of my favorite Larry Cohen movies, right behind It's Alive, probably, because I love It's Alive. It's one. And God told me to is up there too. I like It's Alive. I've only
seen that once.
Yeah.
I've only seen that once.
If you've never seen it and you listen to this show and you've made it this far to the end of the show, I definitely recommend giving it a watch. You know why, Manny? Because when it comes to the stuff,
it's never enough.
It's never enough.
Where's the stuff?
The stuff is here now. Great new day sensation. Light and free now. Gives you elevation. Enough is never enough. Enough is never enough of the stuff.
so that was The Stuff and the Arrow 4K Blu-ray release. Fantastic stuff. There it is, displaying the slip case. Mm-hmm. Be sure to subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, all that good stuff at Haunted Hangover. Head over to hauntedhangover.com, where you can find links to everything, including our Patreon page, where you can gain access to bonus content. If you want to show us a little support, a little love, head over there.
And make sure to rate and review us wherever it is you're listening to us here. Tell us that you can't have enough of us.
And as always, remember, the best cure for a hangover is...
liquid death. More booze.
More booze. And a little sprinkle of liquid death there.
Yeah.
That's it. And
liquid death should make booze.
They should.
Imagine. Ooh, that'd be pretty good.
That'd be pretty good.
Alcoholic death.
Yes. Catch you guys later.